TV and radio is here to offer you accessibility and connect you to the whole world through our limitless windows of advertising. We offer online publication, online television and radio services with a global reach, digital marketing, video and audio advert jingle production, digital studio and event management. In ABN, we give you value for your money. For your advert placements, contact us on 0701 3559600 or send us an email at abnonlinetv@gmail.com. For more information, log on to www.abntv.ng. You can also download our app on your Google Play Store. Download ABN Radio. ABN Online TV and Radio Station, bringing the world closer to you. Do you wish to bring your goods and services to the global view? Are you tired of struggling with low patronage? This is the opportunity you've been looking for. ABN TV and Radio is here to offer you accessibility and connect you to the whole world through our limitless windows of advertising. We offer online publication, online television and radio services with a global reach, digital marketing, video and audio advert jingle production, digital studio and event management. In ABN, we give you value for your money. For your advert placements, contact us on 0701 3559600 or send us an email at abnonlinetv@gmail.com. For more information, log on to www.abntv.ng. You can also download our app on your Google Play Store. Download ABN Radio. ABN Online TV and Radio Station, bringing the world closer to you.
The Niger Station. In today's fast-changing world of news, the big news make the headline.
On the highlight, military plans another Python dance. Ex-minister returns to US.
The persons behind the headline.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
We have a vision for New India, and that is the foundation that will launch us into a more progressive state tomorrow.
And your reactions to the headline.
Mr. Speaker, which level, as reported last week, under his government, 40 million Nigerians are now mad. As reported by his government, so maybe the next level, none of us will be completely mad.
My own is that the fake promise that he used to deceive Nigeria. This time around, we are waiting for him.
Do you want to keep tabs with trending national, state, or local issues? Then listen to Open Parliament every weekday on Family Love 99.9 FM. Omahia. Open Parliament. When the issues are burning.
The man is confused. The man doesn't know a direction. He failed because he was unprepared. He cannot get something from nothing. So they are just trying to find something to blame for the failure. So the failed mostly.
Well, it's no longer news, is it, that the Central Bank of Nigeria, the CBN, has said it will start circulating new, redesigned 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira notes from December 15, 2022. What are the implications as far as Nigeria is concerned? Security, with the governors of the Southeast region are lamenting the rising levels of insecurity and are planning a joint highway patrol as part of moves to combat the trend. Well, this was part of the resolution after the meeting in Enugu, the Enugu state capital. This one happened on Sunday. Staying with security, with a report on Tuesday, just yesterday, by SBM Intelligence showing that 72 of the people killed in Nigeria, no fewer than 1,718 deaths were recorded in the third quarter alone of the year. That's July to September 2022. And maybe a little away from politics, with the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Abia State, Dr. Alex Oti, saying he would not share the resources of the state to those he described as stakeholders, but rather create wealth every comes on board. Well, he's accused the PDP administration in the state of operating what he called a blood tonic system, where monies of the state resources, are used to pay monthly stipends to stakeholders. These are the issues we'll be talking about this morning. A very good morning to you. Welcome to the second day of November 2022. It's a Tuesday, definitely the second edition for the week of Open Parliament, live on the frequency, where we get to bring you the biggest stories making headlines across Nigeria, Abia, and the world. My name is Mr. C. I'm glad to be here, most glad to have you right there. I'm glad to have joined us this morning a guest, a recipient of Zix Award on Innovation and Creativity, a fellow of ethical leadership from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, a former Secretary General of Argon, a Board of Trustee member of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, Interpol consultant and security expert, Sir Chikwe Udensi. We have him virtually this morning. Very good morning to you, sir. Welcome to Open Parliament.
Good morning, Mr. C. Thanks for having me.
Oh, very well. Thanks for joining us yet again. Well, let's start first off with the economy. I'm sure this probably came as a surprise to a lot of Nigerians. I don't know if it hit you that way. With the Central Bank of Nigeria, through the governor, Godwin Emefiele, disclosing just last week, week today, that the CBN would be circulating newly redesigned 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira notes effective December 15th, 2022. And experts have been discussing the implications on the country as a whole. It's got to do with security, the economy, the value of the naira, and inflation. And of course, the 2023 general elections are somewhere in just a matter of months. What do you make of this change? Is it in good timing, you think? Is it a step in the right direction?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. C. I'm an expert in security. What you're asking me now is economics. Incidentally, security and economics go together.
Absolutely.
You cannot talk about economics or talk about security without linking each other together. Apart from being friends, they're also brothers. Every security challenge has economic impact. When you see an armed robber on the highway, all he's wanting is money. If you see a bandit kidnapping somebody, he's asking for money. Armed robber coming to your house is for fun money. Even when your car is being snatched, it's for money too. So most security indices are directly linked with economics. So one who is a security expert should also understand the economic dynamics of the society that he does his security work. Yes, Mr. C. We have been told by CBN that as from December the 15th, they will start circulating the 200, 500, and 1,000 naira notes. That's from the 31st of January 2023. The old notes will no more be a legal tender in Nigeria. What it therefore means is that after the 31st of January, nobody will accept or give the old notes. Different reasons have been given for this, Mr. C. But for you to understand the actual reason, you must have to go to the source of the decision. Why did the CBN make that decision? If you look very closely with the reasons, you will realize that the actual reasons are not necessarily what is given to the public. The actual reasons came from the report of the National Monetary Policy Unit of the CBN. Mr. C, we realized that about 85% of money in circulation is not in the banks. Only about 15% of the whole money in circulation is in the banks. So if you have a little above 1 trillion in the banks moving around the banking sector, the tendency is that we have more than 3 trillion that is outside the banking sector. It does not do well for any economy at all. Especially if you look at the report by one Chikwe, the Chikwe Group. The Chikwe Group is banking and economic indices reporters. They indicated that about 8 trillion are actually in circulation. So if the CBN had issued 4 trillion, 1 trillion in circulation in the banks, and then 3 trillion outside the banks, there's an extra 4 trillion circulating, which was not issued by CBN. So what we are looking at is that very close to 50% of the money in circulation are fake. That is what it simply means. If the CBN issued about 4 trillion, and then we have about 8 trillion circulating in the system, then about 50% of the amount, which is about over 4 trillion, are fake. Is there any wonder that they are staying away from the banks? Because if they come close to the banks, they will be identified as fakes. So what CBN decided to do is to mop up all the real currency, change them, and issue fresh notes, so that it will make nonsense of the balance of the fake ones that are circulated. This is simple economics. There's no rocket science to it. So what CBN is saying is that we have so much money in circulation which we are not aware of, which does not pass through the banks. And if it does not pass through the banks, we will have a problem. If it does not pass through the banks, we cannot effectively negotiate the monetary policy of the country. We can't even discuss it. We can't even identify where the problems are, or even know exactly the kind of monies we have in circulation. So, Mr. C, it's a disturbing trend that no country, no responsible country, will allow it to happen. But the question has always been, why now? People are concerned that maybe it is to mop up the funds from the system and make sure politicians do not have enough money to do their politics. I don't know which one is true. But whatever it is, one is concerned to a large extent to the effect, the ripple effect it is causing right now. The ripple effect, Mr. C, is that you know what Naira is right now against the dollar?
Yeah.
Most of our operations are dollar denominated. Right now, this morning we are told that it is 840 Naira to $1. Mr. C, this is a very disturbing trend. It is very, very confusing. However, the major problem also in the movement of the dollar up has to do with the official rate and the unofficial rate. The official rate today is 435 Naira to the dollar. whereas the parallel market is 480. So we have a whopping $405 per dollar, 5 naira per dollar, unaccounted for. So it makes fraud very attractive. It makes people to look for money at the official rate, sell it next to the black market, and then make 405 naira per dollar. So see, this is a very disturbing trend. But the reason essentially why CBN chose to change this is to ensure that the national monetary economic policy is properly articulated and put in proper place.
In essence, do you support this change at this point in time? Good enough, you've also touched on the ripple effect, which as at the point in time has sent the naira crashing down against the dollar, and experts are saying would even have it crash more. Is it a step in the right direction? Now, some of the reasons outside the CBN saying here we have a humongous amount of money outside the banking vault, and this is us trying to mop up this cash. Another reason which was security inclined was that kidnappers and terrorists, they are being paid with our own cash, this naira notes, and so this is us trying to get that side straight. And some experts have said, hey, these reasons are not necessarily going to affect the value of the naira. Indeed, it's going to help devalue the naira more.
Well, absolutely, Mr. C. You know there's enormous pressure on our naira already. So much pressure to the extent to which the value is coming down sizable. I do not agree that it has to do with kidnapping. I do not agree that the solution to it is that there's so much money for kidnappers to use in or individuals to use in settling kidnappers when kidnapping happens. What we should look at is from the proper security perspective. The proper security perspective is that we should ensure kidnapping stops. Whether it is sharing of money in the process or not, let us put the various instrumentality that is required. Right now, it is not there. As I talk to you right now, the necessary tools to ensure that this kidnapping does not or comes down to a reasonable level, the various indices are not there. The security capacity of the nation is not there. So I don't want to go through that direction. I'm prepared to go the monetary policy direction. And the monetary policy direction indicates very clearly that over 50%, especially from the report we have from Seville, over 50% of the money in circulation cannot be properly accounted for by the CBN. And what I mean by 50% is that 50% of it, they don't know where it's coming from. But very close to 85% of the total amount issued by CBN are not in the banks. They're in private hands. So CBN wants to effectively mop up this money. If you have only 15% of the total volume of the funds printed and distributed by CBN only in the banks, then where are the other funds from? That has been the disturbing factor.
Yeah.
CBN says that the ones we have issued, only about 85%, only about 15% are in the banks, 85% are in private hands. But what we have issued so far is in between of 4 trillion. But we have over 8 trillion in circulation. So the rest are fake currencies. If you look at our currency right now, most of them, look at it critically, you have no doubt in your mind that these are fake currencies. And they cannot go to the banks. Because once they go to the banks, they will be identified as fake currency. So it continues to circulate within the system, ensuring it doesn't go to the banks. So it is the duty of CBN in this instance to ensure that they mop up all the monies in the system and ensure new ones are issued so as to stabilize the monetary policy of the country.
Yeah. Some experts as well, and maybe some those who have reacted to this policy decision of the Central Bank of Nigeria. I've also looked at the politics of 2023. That's the 2023 general elections. We have had incidences in the past couple of elections organized by the Independent National Electoral Commission where we had a vote buying, and that seemed to be plaguing our electoral process. Is this a step in the right direction? Is this the Central Bank of Nigeria also having an eye on maybe curtailing, even not eradicating completely the incidences of vote buying as we move up to the 2023 general elections? Don't forget the phasing out of the current currencies as regards to the denomination stipulated by the CBN. It's going to be off by January, and then we have elections February for National Assembly, and then state elections by March. Do you think it's the CBN having an eye on that as well?
Well, the issue of vote buying is directly equidistant to the economic situation in the country. And Mr. C, out of every 10 graduates of the university in Nigeria, only about 2, representing only 20%, gain employment. And out of that 20%, only about 50 of them are gainfully employed. The rest are on the streets. And Mr. C, workers are not being paid salaries. And the whole system is clouded with anger and frustration of those who cannot even meet basic needs in the system. And Mr. C, a bank manager who sees millions of naira every day in the bank has serious financial needs he cannot meet. A bank manager. Mr. C, we have a very hungry voting public. That is where we should be looking at. If you leave the problem and you start solving the symptoms, you end up having more problems. The problem is that the economy of the country is very poor, and we have a very hungry electorate. If you have very hungry voters, the tendency is that they will go for money, and that is what we have today in our system, in our society. So the best thing to do is to generate and create the necessary economic indices and procedures that make sure that there's economic activity that generates wealth. That is not being done right now because we have very poor leadership in the country at all levels, federal, state, and local governments. The leadership is very poor. And because of that, there is poverty in the land. And this poverty in the land can only be cured by good leadership, not by having some cosmetic effects. If you have cosmetic effects, it will only have a temporary stance. Otherwise, it will not last for a longer time.
21 minutes gone past 9 from our studios. It's still open Parliament. Chikwe Udensi is a guest. You can stream this live on ABN Radio and TV. Don't forget. Well, still staying with security now. Having looked at the security implication of the redesigning of the Naira notes by the CBN, a report just yesterday by SBM Intelligence has said no fewer than 1,718 deaths were recorded in the third quarter of this year, July to September. All the deaths, according to the report, were caused by violent incidents such as Boko Haram attacks, militia headsmen, gang clashes, and terrorists in various parts of the country. While a further breakdown of the people killed in the third quarter of the year revealed that 529 were civilians, 684 terrorists, 318 were Boko Haram, 48 were police officers, 38 were kidnappers, 31 armed robbers, 22 were vigilantes, 11 were courtists, IPOB 13, 2 NSCDC, and 1 custom and 21 soldiers. Well, also deaths by geopolitical zone showed 572 were recorded in the northeast, 536 in the northwest, 333 in the north central, southwest 53, southeast 129, and south had 95. And as a follow-up to that, apparently with that in mind, the governors of the southeast region, well, they have come up with what they call 24-hour patrol to check the incidences of insecurity in this part of the country. And this was following a meeting they had in Enugu on Sunday. What do you make of this call by the Southeast governors and the move to do a 24-hour patrol on the roads across the southeast. A step in the right direction, you think?
Well, first of all, Mr. C, let us look at the report of SBN. It's a very credible organization. They are one of our members. They have very credible information, but don't forget that only about 35% of our information are reported. Only about 35% of our incidences are reported. So the 1,718 deaths recorded in the third quarter, which the third quarter means from July to September, that number represents a good figure, but does not represent all the figure. If you consider that only about 35% of the reporting happens. And look at the demography, Mr. C. If you look at the demography very well, you'll be able to understand what we are talking about in regional policing. Northeast, the number of deaths there is 572. Northwest, 500 and something. Look at Southeast. Southeast has 129. But then, look at Southwest. Southwest has only 53 deaths. So Southeast, despite not having the volume of residents, we have more people residing in Southwest than in Southeast. I hope you know that. And when you talk about Southwest, you are including Lagos. You're also including the highest populated city in Africa, which is called Ibadan. So if you consider all this, and you realize that only 53 persons were killed, and if you look at the demography, the clear demography of the 53 that were dead in Southwest, only about 11 of them are civilians. The 42 are terrorists and bandits. They were killed. But in Southeast, 129 are deaths, 110 are civilians. Only about 19 are terrorists. So what it tells you, therefore, by way of simple analogy, is that Amotoku is doing a great job in Southwest to bring down that number of deaths, especially civilian deaths, and then increase sizably the deaths of criminals and bandits. We shall see today there are no criminals in the forests of the Southwest. No criminals. What we have in Southeast is different. That brings me exactly to what the meeting of Sunday by the Southeastern governors in Enugu. I listened to the discussions initially, especially the one that was broadcast, and then I quickly asked the press corps of the government house in Enugu State to let me have information as to what the actual discussions and the contributions of all the governors were. Mr. C, I'm totally disappointed. I'm absolutely disappointed, to say the least, that the Southeastern governors do not even understand what security is all about. And they have chosen not to even employ the services of security experts to do that. In every state in Southeast, we have not less than 25 to 30 registered security experts. They should use their skills. They should use their expertise to ensure that Southeast is protected. Look at what is happening in Southwest. The killing is only 11 with the number they have there, even in Lagos, including Ibadan. And then in Southeast, we have 110 people, civilians, that died. Mr. C, I listened to them very carefully, and the solution they have is to have a patrol on the highways. The terrorists are not staying on the highways. No. The bandits are not on the highways. They're not staying on the highways. The kidnappers don't stay on the highways. No. They stay in the bushes, but operate on the highways and go back to the bushes. See, we target the location. We don't target incident locations. No, their operational location is where they are. And they are living in the forest and bushes. We ought to take them away from where they are living. We don't have to take them away from the highways, because what you see on the highways are incidental activities. They come out of on the highways, attack, and go back to where they stay. We should pursue them to where they are staying and remove them from where they are staying. That is what Amotoko have succeeded in doing through their forest guard systems. We are not implementing it in Southeast. I don't know who is advising our leaders in Southeast. I don't know why they have chosen not to take expert advice. That what they are doing is wrong. Use this idea of patrol of the highway. It does not fetch as much result as going straight to the ground where they are and pushing them away from there. Attack them where they are. I recall not too long ago when I had issues with one of the commissioners who talked about going to buy cell phones and giving to people to go into the bushes. I don't know how you're going to confront somebody who has AK-47 with cell phone. No, it is very strange to us in security. Unfortunately, in security, violence is used to stop violence. That is what we know in security. It is only violence that can confront violence, and the violence will know that violence has come. We must have to go into the bushes where they are sitting down, where they are living, where they are sleeping, especially where they are taking these criminals to.
Okay.
Mr. C, we have one incident that just happened where Professor Agbaje was kidnapped and he was released eventually. Professor Agbaje told us the story of where they were kept for a few days, and when he was released, he left behind over 300 people in the bushes. Over 300 people, Mr. C. And we are told that there were free movements. From where they were, they could be seen even farmers. And they were not hidden. What is this country doing? We are told that even the victims, those who were taken away from the train incident between Abuja and Kaduna, where they were kept before they were eventually released, medical doctors were coming to treat them. So the government know where they are. And what is the concept? What is the idea? It is very strange to us in security. Each time we meet in security circles and discuss it, it is very strange. We don't understand it. Once we identify an area of target, if you identify an area of criminal operation, you attack that area. Simple.
Okay.
You disseminate the area.
Right.
You don't leave it for negotiations. You don't negotiate with criminals. You don't negotiate with terrorists.
Okay.
It is very disturbing, and we feel quite uncomfortable with the arrangement in Southeast.
Open Parliament still. And of course, Chikwe Udensi is still a guest. We'll be going for a break in a bit, and then when we return, still on the Southeast governors, with regards to the issue of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Well, they have sought for a political solution. I mean, Chikwe Udensi, recall that you've always had issues with the Southeast governors, not coming out with a policy statement on this. Now, there you go. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
ABN TV and radio is here to offer you accessibility and connect you to the whole world through our limitless windows of advertising. We offer online publication, online television and radio services with a global reach, digital marketing, video and audio advert jingle production, digital studio and event management. In ABN, we give you value for your money. For your advert placement, contact us on 0701 3559 or send us an email at abnonlinetv@gmail.com. For more information, log on to www.abntv.ng. You can also download our app on your Google Play Store. Download ABN Radio. ABN Online TV and Radio Station, bringing the world closer to you. bring your goods and services to the global view? Are you tired of struggling with low patronage? This is the opportunity you've been looking for. ABN TV and radio is here to offer you accessibility and connect you to the whole world through our limitless windows of advertising. We offer online publication, online television and radio services with a global reach, digital marketing, video and audio advert jingle production, digital studio and event management. In ABN, we give you value for your money. For your advert placements, contact us on 0701 3559600 or send us an email at abnonlinetv@gmail.com. For more information, log on to www.abntv.ng. You can also download our app on your Google Play Store. Download ABN Radio. ABN Online TV and Radio Station, bringing the world closer to you. Do you wish to bring your goods and services to the global view? Are you tired of struggling with low patronage? This is the opportunity you've been looking for. ABN TV and radio is here to offer you accessibility and connect you to the whole world through our limitless windows of advertising. We offer online publication, online television and radio services with a global reach, digital marketing, video and audio advert jingle production, digital studio and event management. In ABN, we give you value for your money. For your advert placements, contact us on 0701 3559600 or send us an email at abnonlinetv@gmail.com. For more information, log on to www.abntv.ng. You can also download our app on your Google Play Store. Download ABN Radio. ABN Online TV and Radio Station, bringing the world closer to you. Do you wish to bring your goods and services to the global view? Are you tired of struggling with low patronage? This is the opportunity you've been looking for. ABN TV and radio is here to offer you accessibility and connect you to the whole world through our limitless windows of advertising. We offer online publication, online television and radio services with a global reach, digital marketing, video and audio advert jingle production, digital studio and event management. In ABN, we give you value for your money. For your advert placements, contact us on 0701 3559600.
In Enugu, where they talked about the 24-hour road patrol across roads in the southeast. And again, they did talk about the federal government doing a political solution with regards to the case involving the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Is it too little, too late? The call by the Southeast governors on Nnamdi Kanu?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. C. So many people say it is a little too late too. But whenever it comes, it is still okay by me, Mr. C. But all I'm saying is that if you just do more than sitting down someplace and advocating, it is not done. It's not done that way. Mr. C, don't forget that there was also a Yoruba separatist called Sunday Boho, who was picked up in the Republic of Benin. The Southwestern government, though not necessarily supporting separation, they sent some representation to the Republic of Benin to ensure that Sunday Boho was released and released timelessly. Do not also forget what happened when a few Ariwa youth movement group, especially the one headed by Mr. Balami, they advocated also at the time on the need for the North to remove some parts of Nigeria away from the northern part of the country. You saw what happened. There was the movement by the northern leaders to quell it. Mr. C, not too long ago, when before Jonathan took over, it was Yaradua. Yaradua initiated a process with South government governors to ensure that the activities of the likes of Tom Polo, Ateke Tom, and the rest of them were sensibly minimized. The South-South governors played a very major role in that area. That is why we are saying that the role currently being played by our governors, where it affects Nnamdi Kanu, is not right. It's unfortunate. It is too little. It is cosmetic. It does not give effect to what fathers ought to do in circumstances like this. Mr. C, you and I know that I do not support separating or dividing the country. No. I believe that one unified Nigeria will be better for us. But when we have situations like this, leaders, fathers of the nation, fathers of the state must live up to the position that is required of them to live up to. We have advocated that what we require in Nnamdi Kanu's case is a political solution. It is not a legal solution that was required. But the Southeastern governors have thrown a blind eye to the activities and the affairs of Nnamdi Kanu. It's unfortunate. I remember severally when the youth president, Mr. Bayaka, came to me severally, and we tried to reach some Southeastern governors. Their attitude was unfortunate. They don't even want to be part of it. They had a make-believe attitude. Nnamdi Kanu should sort his own problem out. It is wrong. Okay. What we ought to do right now is to ensure that our leaders play a prominent role, not just sit around in some conference area and give out some press releases. No. Go beyond that. Ensure that this process of releasing Nnamdi Kanu is completed. The courts have commenced it. We thank God the Court of Appeal for taking a very bold step. It is now left for our people to complete it. Okay. Let me use the opportunity to extend my condolences, Mr. C, to Amici, the he's on fleet. He died 2 days ago. He initiated and went to the president to beg for Nnamdi Kanu to be released. When our senators were there, when our governors are there, when our political leaders are there, Mbazulika Meti, only in his 90s, a very old man, went to Abuja to beg for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. We have always believed that it should be a political solution. A legal solution cannot work. Let us have a political solution where Nnamdi Kanu is released, and then the country begins to heal. Okay. Especially now we are going into electioneering.
All right, well, talking about elections, let's talk politics now. Because the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Abia State, Dr. Alex Oti, he has said he won't share the resources of the state to those he described as stakeholders, those who said to be described as blood tonic. And he has accused the PDP administration in the state of operating a blood tonic system which state resources are used to pay monthly stipends to stakeholders. Well, the governorship candidate, he disclosed this on a chat with a newsman, and he recalled in 2015 where he said the leading political party stakeholder said to support him only if he was going to follow through with the manner or the attitude of paying stakeholders on a monthly, but that he said to have refused, and that before the elections in 2015. And he said this whole system of blood tonic, as he believes is practiced by the current administration, is what is impeding the growth of the state. What's your take on this?
Thank you, Mr. C. You also know that I have spoken on this severally. Mr. C, the truth is that whenever somebody declares to contest for elective position like governor, if you want to declare that and you declare that under a political party, usually there are people they call stakeholders, leaders of the party in the state, leaders of the party, the nation, they come to you and they give you all kinds of conditions. Mr. C, this is what is happening today. And you remember that in 2014, I rejected those conditions. In 2018, I rejected those conditions. It is also very instructive to note that those conditions I rejected. Eventually, Elexoti took the position for governorship candidacy of ABGA. I don't know what he discussed with them. I don't know what he agreed with them. But I rejected it. Every condition that does not mean well for the people, I'm not going to go for it. And don't also forget that in 2023, 2022, we are right now, I rejected also the condition being set to me by some stakeholders and party leadership. People do not know about this, but let me commend Chikwe Udensi, who took the courage in going to obtain one of the signed documents, especially the one for ABGA, and he published it and even filed it in court. Today, the court now is public record of what some people signed with Mr. Professor Greg Ibe before they gave him the candidacy of ABGA in Abia State. It is not common and open knowledge. It is not peculiar to ABGA. Almost every political party. When I had this issue earlier on with ABGA, Mr. C, most political parties came to me wanting me to be their candidate. They also brought those conditions. Conditions where you have to sign something, you have to give them this, you have to give them this position, you have to give them this office. No, we're not saying that a governorship candidate, when he becomes governor, will take every position by himself. No, but when it has to be that one has to sign out the joint commonwealth of the people into some stakeholders' hands, it becomes very disturbing. So what Mr. Elexoti is talking about is not strange. It is what has been happening. And that is what I have rejected personally when I was being approached to sign those documents by officials of ABGA and also some stakeholders in ABGA, and also other political parties that came to me. And that was exactly what our brother and friend P2B suffered in Anambra State. His own was a little bit different, that he was already a governor 6 months into his governorship. They brought all kinds of documents for him to sign on how to share the Commonwealth of Anambra to a few people. He refused it. He was impeached. He went to court and came back. And people like me will never sign any such document. I recall a few people who call themselves also officers of the party coming to me to tell me, Udensi, why not sign when you become governor? You can reject what you signed. I said, no, that does not make an honest man. An honest man should sign what he can do and do what he signs. I'm not going to accept right now, and then when I become governor, I will not accept. So ask Mr. Elexoti, ask Dr. Elexoti, he was a candidate of ABGA in 2014. Did he sign those documents? In 2015, he was also candidate. Did he sign those documents?
Well, in the said report, as far as 2014 was concerned, he said not at all. He did not accept those terms.
So, but I did not accept to them. It was not given to me. How come it was given to him? No, I don't know. Maybe he didn't accept and it still was given to him. But I did not accept in 2014. I said I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't accept it. It is not in the best interest of the people. Especially, that was exactly what we are running away from PDP. That is what PDP is known for. Distribution of people's wealth. That is what PDP, that's what has put ABGA in its present situation. So, if he didn't sign it in 2014, he didn't sign it in 2018, I hope also he will not sign in 2022. But as to whether stakeholders come to candidates and bring all spurious kind of demands, they do. They put it in writing, asking you to sign, and most of us will not sign. But unfortunately, I understand that most people will go and sign these agreements to share the commonwealth of the people in the hands of very few.
Let's have reactions now. Open Parliament. And of course, reaching it live from this frequency. Here are the phone lines: 0816-1115-955 or 07016-514-107. Let's have you do 1 minute as I come through. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. C.
Good morning to you.
I welcome with Uche Okoro from Upper Avenue. Good morning, sir. Chikwe Udensi.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. My take this morning is on the issue of Southeast Governors meeting in Enugu last Sunday.
1 minute.
You see, the Southeast governors have not been playing their roles very well as regarding the issue of security. What they did in Enugu concerning Nnamdi Kanu's case was just to pay lip service. They say they want political solution to that effect. What is the effort that they are making towards that political solution regarding Nnamdi Kanu's case? We have seen them come up with issue of Ebubago. Till today, Ebubago is nowhere to be found. Rather, in some states, is being used to hurt opposition party members. It's unfortunate.
Right.
And I urge Governor Dave Umahi to offer leadership in...
Hello. Oh, thank you very much for coming through. Hello, good morning. Hello? Maybe you call us back. Good morning to you.
Very full morning this morning, Mr. C. Obrigado.
Obrigado. Good morning.
Good morning to your virtual guests in this platform. Good morning, Mr. Chikwe Udensi.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is Don Casey going for me. I'm calling from Mkwano.
Welcome.
Let me start by saying that the place will always sound so bitter. Understand when it comes to talk about the issue of other states. But I know that it will always have many chances to produce. But let me start by saying that this truth of matter it remains the truth. We all know this. Understand? But when you come out to play in public, you see some people they will not come and antagonizing the issues. They will not come and they blaming the person who now telling the details or telling the story. So they are the same. That is a part. Let me now go to Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu issue. Governors, if they are coming out now to talk about the reason of Nnamdi Kanu, they are just doing it loose. They are just playing this attempt. Because before now, they have been going up for them to come in signage to make sure that they talk. Nnamdi Kanu would have been released before now. But they refuse. But now that they have seen that we have been declared and acquitted, they are not trying to tell us that. But let it not be a pronouncement of it. Let us make a move. That's why I'm also even not happy because when I heard that this man died,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Very fortunate.
Thank you. I don't feel to understand that you've got just 1 minute to come through. The phone lines are still open. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning to you.
Morning. My name remains Chikwe Udensi from Aba.
Welcome.
Yes, this Ebubago we are talking to. Ebubago is not giving us what we want. So some governors are using it to kill the innocent citizens, harassing them, putting them in jeopardy, putting them in pandemia. It is quite unfortunate. What we know that are fighting for us or making peace in Southeast is ECN. Any other thing is secondary. And again, let them try to the federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu because we believe in court. Because court is the last hope of the common man. And I didn't know exactly. And I didn't know that when our president was asked, he said he believed in court decision. And the court has decided. Let him remain resolute.
Thank you very much. Thank you. A couple of minutes before we call it a wrap. Open Parliament still. Good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning, Mr. No, good morning.
Very well. Good morning to you.
Okay, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, I remain comrade from my conversation in South.
Welcome.
Yeah, because let me on the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, especially your president disrespects me and he disrespects customer for not releasing Nnamdi Kanu. They are not understanding the program from power-oriented governmental deprivation of the rights to life and liberty and minority rights. Are you getting it?
That's the reason why we are starting today is that the federal government of Nigeria is likely to pragmatically approaching communism attributes of protecting and favoring the prosperity and the interest of life and property.
Well, we're struggling to hear what you're saying. Maybe your network not so straight. If you could get to better location and call us back, would appreciate. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. C.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sir Chikwe Udensi.
Good morning, sir.
Who say man not the name I'm calling from Umaya?
Welcome.
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Sir Chikwe Udensi, I want to thank you once again for coming on air to tell us what led you, what transpired in your primaries in Agda. So it means that you are a man of integrity. And I still pray that God will continue to guide and bless you. Even more especially the way you have been touching the lives of the common man. The last time you made a promise of visiting the petty traders and widows and these ex-nurse. And I still pray that God will continue to provide resources for you to keep touching land. This is what we want in Niger State. In as much as whether you're in government or not government, affect life positively. It's not about some of the politicians in the state today because they are not in one particular party. They are kicking against making sure to impoverish our state. In as much as we condemn what is evil, we still encourage the ones that are doing well.
Right.
I pray that God will continue to guide and bless you the more. Give you more resources to life and positively. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's do this for the reaction. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chief.
Good morning to you.
Sir Chikwe Udensi, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And then Chief Chile Dobila.
Welcome.
What you say about homeland security and the Bible is true. You don't come and buy phone for security men say they will be giving you information. When we already here, we have Bakassi. And now the Bakassi is not working. Nobody is asking why the Bakassi is not working. Because why they are not working, they are not paying them. How many times have you seen Bakassi vehicle in the road again? They don't have even vehicle. If not the way we are shouting now, they deploy Bakassi to Chikwe to Uturu. Now, if you go there, you see Bakassi. As soon as they split, the kidnapping something have left that place. That is what they're supposed to do. Mobilize Bakassi and pay them, buy the vehicle.
Right.
Let them enter inside those bush. And do the job. We don't want Bakassi was Bakassi when they were paying them. That's what they need to do.
Thank you.
And God bless.
Well, thank you very much. Well, you were going to react to the previous caller, sir.
Yes, it has to do with Ebubago and the activities of security. I have always been opposed to state police. I have always believed in regional police. Regional police in the sense that, look at what Amotoko is doing, they are doing very, very well. You see, when Ebonyi decided to use Ebubago in a very state form and called it Ebubago in Ebonyi state, you see the mayhem that is being caused. They will use it to settle political scores. We do not have to leave security in the hands of just the governors alone. You cannot give the governors command and control of security forces. No, their attitude is such that they will use it against their opponents. So we should encourage the southeastern governors to please come together and make sure Ebubago is working and working functionally well.
All right.
And then make sure that our forests are safe.
Okay.
That is where criminals are, not on the highways.
Well, any comments in 30 seconds? Someone mentioned your promised palliatives.
Yes, we have just finished. It was on Monday that we finished the final stage of our trial in the courts. So I have enough time now. We are planning to commence the second phase, complete the second phase of the patient's palliatives, especially now we're going to December. And then we're going also, like you know, into petty traders welfare, and also we're going to do a little bit of widows above 50, above 60, I'm sorry. We want to target indigent widows. That's what we want to target, not every widow. There are so many billionaire widows, so we're going to target indigent widows. That's what I will be doing in this November and December. That will take my chunk of time. Thanks for always having me, Mr. C.
Thank you very much. Sir Chikwe Udensi, our guest, virtually every Wednesdays, Open Parliament live on the frequency. My name is Mr. C. Thanks for being a part through your calls, your messages. Let's do it again next week. Mr. C.
With a global reach, digital marketing, video and audio advert jingle production, digital studio and event management. In ABN, we give you value for your money. For your advert placements, contact us on 0701 3559600 or send us an email at abnonlinetv@gmail.com. For more information, log on to www.abntv.ng. You can also download our app on your Google Play Store. Download ABN Radio. ABN Online TV and Radio Station, bringing the world closer to you.